from the coils for our flex fuel sensor. Just plugs right in, jumps off the coils, and then you have to pin your ECM. Simple as that. So we got our flex fuel sensor mount here. I don't know where the heck the flex fuel sensor is, but hopefully we'll find it soon. This is a Motion Racer Works kit. Makes it super easy for snapping the sensor in there. Comes with a little mount on it. The guy, Cesar Enriquez over at Horsepower Factory, he actually makes a mount that is set up for the factory intakes. Most people use these on like aftermarket high Rams and other mid to high Ram intakes. We're gonna see if we can make it work with the factory intake we got. This is our flex fuel sensor, so this is where we're gonna be mounting up on the intake with that Motion Raceworks mount over there. All right, so our Motion Raceworks E85 sensor mount, we're probably not gonna use. It's designed for a Holley high Ram or other intakes that have a lid with the bolts that face down. It's not very compatible with the factory intake. If I were to use this, I'd have to make a custom mount that came off the top of the intake, which I would either have to butcher my engine cover or make it go over the top, and I don't really want to do that. So what I think we're going to do is just save it for when we get an aftermarket intake, such as a Holley intake or something along those lines. We already got with Cesar Enriquez again over at Horsepower Factory, and he overnighted us his special mount for factory intakes. All this does here is this piece right here will go directly into the fuel rail. Our E85 sensor will be mounted right here, just like so. It hopefully should allow us to keep our engine cover on, or if we do keep it on, we might have to butcher it. Yep, I can also leave a link down in the description of this, or I can just leave a link to the entire kit. Let's get into it. We're gonna go ahead and come in back here and do our fuel line. Now we can take our new fitting here. Here. Go ahead and slide this on over. See how I have it here on the frame rail right here. And then that fitting just went right on over. And then this is the sensor right here, which we need to keep that kind of low. And then the outlet of the sensor's right back there, and we'll probably run that to a regulator. You can kind of see the outlet of the sensor. Go ahead and try and plug our sensor in back here. Now we just need to pin our ECM here. Should be, I think, pin 48, but I'm gonna double check. All right, so for pinning for the E85 sensor on the ECM here, you have your lower harness and upper harness. We're gonna be going in the upper harness. My upper one's actually missing my cap already, so somebody just zip tied it to hold it steady. But yeah, we'll go ahead and cut these zip ties and then pop this out, undo this tab, and then see what it looks like in there. We'll be on pin 40. Okay. All right, and then where we run our pin, we already have a pin wired into that little jumper we have where we run our pins. So we're gonna be in this third row right here. This is pin 33, and we'll just count over until we hit pin 40. We need to cut this zip tie over here, spread these wires out. Look in here. I think we're gonna have to pop one of those little blue tabs out to be able to put the pin in. All right, so I went ahead and took this little cover off here just so you can see how these pins look a little easier. So this is first row, second row, third row, fourth row. We're gonna be in the third row. And this right pin in the third row is pin 33. And you're gonna count over from 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. And I already kind of pushed the little blue tab thing out that retains the hole, just so I already know where it's at. But we're gonna go ahead and push that out all the way, or go ahead and turn it over, and you can see where it's popping out right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull that out all the way. Yeah, if I can get it out of there. Here it goes. There it is. And now, so I know I have it orientated right. I want it to go in there facing just like so. Our opening there, that facing towards the top. And shove the pin on in. All right, so right here you can see we went ahead and just pushed the pin all the way through. The pin that we have from Cesar Enriquez, which I think you should do yourself so you don't have to wire everything up, I think you should definitely go with this kit, because that pin was so easy. Well, depends on how your crimp is, but should just push right in here and bottom out with the other pins. So that's pin 40. Once again, I'll refresh you because I had a hard time looking for these two. So 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. That's your E85 pin. We'll go ahead and put our cover back on here. To pull the cover off, all you gotta do, use a little pick on each side and gently pry up, and it'll come right out. So this should pop directly back in there. Perfect. All right, now, before I bolt it back down, I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie these wires back together. Go ahead and pop this back in here. And my cover is missing, so my latch won't stay locked. So that's why it was zip tied here. Probably should replace that cover so all those open wires aren't there anymore. Kind of cleanly, you can get it up out of the way there. Yep, that'll be it on our E85 sensor.